took it.
Yeah, maybe. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I'm your host, David Strege, and here in the room with me, I have the uh, 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 lovable Boris with me.
Thank you. Hi.
Welcome back to talking with me. I just love sharing these films with you. And after we get done with this one, since I've showed you two, we can go back to maybe one of Joe Sherlock's, and then go back and forth between the films
Oh,
to
I
share between each other.
I would love it. I never turned Joe Sherlock's movies down, as you know.
So the movie that I tasked you to watch is called Bunny the Killer Thing. Uh,
Yeah.
and it was directed by Joonas Makkonen in 2015. And it was put out by Black Lion Pictures, JoJo the Dog Films, Bottomland Productions, but it got a specific release from, I believe, Raven Banner,
Uh,
which it was called the X-rated Pussy rated edition,
I
which I showed you last week, didn't I?
yes, yes. Well,
Uh,
no wonder it's called that.
but it's insane that I got one of the numbers in the 200 range. It's just I've misplaced where I put my copy at the moment.
Uh,
I had it when I was sending you a copy of it, but
uh, yeah.
but it had a Blu-ray, a DVD, and a CD for the soundtrack. So
Oh, oh wow. Were
um,
they a part of the same package?
it was a part of the same package,
Oh,
which it was a really nice edition of the film to get out there. There is a single edition out there. It's just this edition was like floating around for a while, and it I think you could buy it on Amazon and things of that nature. And I think I bought mine on Amazon because
oh, I get it.
they still had copies at the
Yeah.
time. Unfortunately, I didn't know you as much as I do now. So otherwise, I would have told you get it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I would have probably gotten it, but oh well.
Oh well, but in any case, so the film comes all the way from well, it comes from Finland.
Yes, well, that was quite surprising when I heard the language I didn't understand. At first, I thought the movie was going to be all in English, so this combination of English and Finnish in the movie, it was pretty surprising and pretty unique.
Well, and once you put it to once you watched it, it had subtitles, correct?
Yes, yes, I was watching it with subtitles. It made it much easier.
Now, unfortunately, it's cheaper to do subtitles than it is to dubbing a film. So that's why some films from other countries actually have subtitles. So let me just read the synopsis that IMDb here says for this film.
Yeah.
A group of Finnish and British people get stuck at a cabin when they are attacked by a creature that is half human and half rabbit. But that's not all that is entailed in this film, is there?
No, it forgot to mention the creature is, spoiler alert, hungry for pussy.
Yeah. So, in the very beginning of the film, we have a writer and his what looks like to be his girlfriend end up showing up um, to a ski resort, and they get attacked by three ski men in masks. Correct.
Yes, yes.
So, what happens from there? There, why don't you kind of describe it, or actually, uh, first impressions? What was your first impression of this film?
Well, my first impression was, you mean of this first scene or the whole film?
The whole film.
Well, I pretty much liked it. I mean, it was your recommendation, so my expectations were good in the first place, and it didn't disappoint me. I really like horror comedies. And this one was pretty funny. One thing I like about it is how it doesn't care about political correctness. It shamelessly makes fun of everything, which is something I really appreciated about its humor. And yeah, like I said, I like morbid comedies, so this one had its fair share of funny moments, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Since you shared it with me, I watched it twice. So
Well,
yeah,
since I've picked up the movie myself, I've watched it several times. First time by myself, then by my with my fiance, which she absolutely did not like the film.
oh, why?
I keep asking her that myself, but she thought it was stupid. But
Well, maybe what she found stupid about it is what we find funny about it. So,
well, another thing is that we're male. We're obviously gonna like, sick and sadistic things from time to time. And I'll be honest, this was kind of a perversive film.
well, well, yeah, but in my opinion, those murders and all that stuff, it just wasn't realistic enough to be taken seriously. It was all just so over the top that it's impossible not to laugh at it. So,
Well, apparently the couple in the beginning, their names are Sarah and Mize or Mies, who are played by Annie Ojukengas and Jari Maninen,
uh,
uh,
I,
which I believe the writer was evidently one of the guys in Ski Masks knocks the girl Sarah out, and
uh,
then the three ski mask men in ski masks take the writer off campus of this cabin to a remote uh, storage locker or facility where it
yes.
seems like there is a doctor in a lab coat who injects this man with a serum.
Yeah.
And what does this serum turn this man into?
Well, it turned him into the main antagonist of the movie. This creature, half human, half rabbit, who chases people around and kills them, and it's apparently hungry for pussy. So everything that either has a pussy or resembles a pussy in any possible way, it attracts this creature and makes it kill them. And if the victim is a woman, she also gets raped. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some politically correct situations in here.
Yeah.
So apparently there are a group of kids who are teenagers who are coming up to the same cabin to spend some quality time with each other. Not only that, but there seems to have been a heist of some sort, and these guys are running away from whatever they've just stolen, and
Uh,
and they all end up at the same cabin,
yes.
and a party so ensues. But in so having this party, they are unaware of the creature that has been created by this secret doctor who evidently this is his experiment.
Yes.
And it ends up being this like 9 foot tall creature rabbit, which it looks like a put thrown together bunny suit.
Well, yeah, it reminded me a bit of those furry costumes, although this one is a bit more terrifying.
And he ultimately ends up, whenever he goes after these victims, he swings his penis around and yells, "Pussy, fresh pussy."
Yeah, or dirty pussy.
Or things of that nature, and it is just hilarious. I mean, there is a young kid who seems to be a virgin, and
Yes.
in the whole mix, and he has feelings for one of the girls at the party.
Yeah, the one who turns out to be probably the worst person in the whole movie.
Correct. So some of the people in here, some of the characters that are female or male are actually dislikable characters.
Yes, well, in my opinion, there were two dislikable characters. So, this girl you just mentioned, Nina was her name. She personally disgusted me the most as a character. Well, the actress was pretty good and pretty sexy, but the character was awful. The first thing that
The
really
actress
did.
is the actress's name, by the way, is Vera W. Vilo. But go ahead, go on.
Uh, yeah, the first thing her character disgusted me with was when she killed a squirrel, and she did it like for no reason at all. She was just frustrated about the girl she crushed on getting hooked up with a man. So, out of frustration, she just stomped this squirrel to death. So that was the moment when I was sure I was going to hate that character. And the way she, yes,
Well, this movie was definitely set up to be very campy, because in order to not really care for some of these characters when they eventually get killed, because this is a
uh,
slasher film of a sort.
yeah, yeah. Well, in my opinion, although the whole movie is full of morbid stuff, which is usually supposed to be funny, and in most cases in this movie it is funny, but this particular scene with the squirrel, in my opinion, it was a bit unnecessary. It wasn't funny to me, but aside of that, everything was okay.
And hopefully that wasn't a real squirrel that they scrunched.
Well, I hope so. It shouldn't be.
Well, it was Finland, so I don't know whether they would have kept from the reality of situations or not. Uh,
Well,
this
I
was
don't
a
know.
wild movie to begin with,
Well, yeah.
but it did have kind of a grindhouse feel to it. Sort of a Quentin Tarantino ness to it, in a sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know any Quentin Tarantino movies.
Uh, well, I heard of some of them, but I think I haven't seen them, or if I maybe did see some, it must have been a long time ago, so I don't remember much.
Ah, well, maybe eventually we can go through some of them.
We could for sure.
So, in any case, uh, so apparently, like I said, there are some people from this heist, which I'm not even sure exactly what they were stealing. Do you remember?
Well, they abducted a woman, a pop star, right?
I believe so.
Uh, Yeah, so for a major part of the movie, it's a mystery what those guys are hiding. Like, we have this kind of a gang leader among them, this guy Lucas, who is the other dislikable character who is pissy all the time, and he acts like an asshole to everyone. And yeah, then there is the yes.
Oh, I was just opening up a soda.
Oh, okay. Then there is this guy, Tim, the black guy, who is a bit mysterious about what they have in their trunk, but he doesn't really have the vibe of a bad person. And there is this Chinese guy, Vincent, who is rather neutral about the whole thing. But yeah, mainly Lucas' behavior, his hostile attitude towards everyone, and Tim outright telling this guy Mise not to touch the trunk. It's what poses the mystery of what their agenda is all about. And
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, uh, uh, and ultimately they end up at this same cabin that these people are at, and ultimately they become victims to Bunny. So, which you have to imagine is, I mean, once you see the creature and once you see what he does, it is hilarious what he does. Uh, uh,
yes.
I think one of my favorite moments in this film is when that guy ends up being like almost entirely naked, or is he naked in the middle of the woods, and he's
Uh,
trying to follow that one chick.
oh, well, I think if I remember correctly, there were multiple scenes of someone getting naked. Are you maybe referring to this guy Thomas who was wearing this red shirt with vagina symbol on it, which attracted the body? Is that the
Yeah,
guy?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a pretty funny scene. So he was. He found this chick he didn't even know in this other room. There were this other group of people who didn't even know these main guys. So when the bunny chased them, he was running with that woman he met there, and the bunny is chasing them, but they make the time to kiss before they separate and run separate ways, so the bunny couldn't get them both. So that was pretty funny. And then the scene with the police car.
Oh yeah, yeah. So apparently, one of them is called the police. I don't know which one. Do you remember which one did so?
Well, I think the police. I think those were the two policemen in the car. So they, if I remember correctly, they accidentally ran over Thomas while he was running away from the body, and then Thomas' dick was torn off, and it remained on their windshield, which yes,
Which
which
caused them
caused
to have
their
an accident, and their own car was blown up with them inside it.
yes, and the explosion was a bit too CGI and unrealistic and over the top, which in this case in my opinion, worked well for the movie because it added to this general morbid hilariousness of the whole thing.
I agree. I mean, this was done with all manner of humor. I mean, yes, there were some pretty gory parts in here, weren't there?
Yes, well, there was this scene I just mentioned when this guy's penis is torn off and remains on the windshield of the car. Then there is this scene when Lucas' eye gets popped out, and if I understood that scene correctly, this bunny hungry for pussy, it mistakes Lucas' eye socket for a pussy, and I think it raped Lucas in the eye socket before killing him, if I understood that scene correctly. And well, Lucas was an asshole, so he got what he deserved in a way. And
Awesome.
yeah, well, that was not all the gore in the movie. There was
No,
more.
there was more. So apparently, there is a scene with one of the females, and I believe the Chinese dude, and at least one of the other gang members, maybe. And they were outside the cabin, and do you remember the scene where uh, Bunny the killer thing was outside and he was whipping his dick around?
Well, there were many scenes like that.
Well, the first big scene, the first
uh,
big gore scene before the
oh,
yeah.
oh yeah, the first one was this woman from the store. She was the first one who got killed, and the body, if I remember correctly, tore her leg off. And yeah, that was the first gory scene.
Okay,
Uh,
and then the second gory scene. Do you remember that one?
the second scene was that when this guy Thomas bumped in with these people, this other group of people, and then the body came after them, and I think the body ate one woman alive there, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yes, that is what happened.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it seems that this bunny is attracted to the female species.
Yes, but for some reason it attacks and kills men as well.
Which apparently is a problem for these people. uh,
Yes.
but ultimately, uh, as the film progresses, um, some of the characters are captured towards the end, correct?
Yes, yes, the survivors of the whole massacre. So this blood chick and these two guys, Tim and Mise, who were calling each other Mr. Black and Mr. White. So yeah, they get captured, but somehow they managed to set themselves free, which I must admit I found that scene a bit confusing. I didn't quite understand how they managed to set themselves free. Uh,
Well, they were able to set themselves free because after they were injected, they were turning into these creatures of their own, and it wasn't just bunnies they were turning into. It looked like they were trying to turn them into other animals as well.
oh, oh,
So,
so that's
because it looked like one of them was, didn't it look like one of them was turning into a donkey?
uh, maybe I'm not sure. I didn't realize.
I, I could be mistaken, but
Well, maybe or not. I really found that scene quite confusing. There was this red string which I didn't manage to figure out what it was, which somehow helped them set themselves free. But I found that scene really puzzling.
well, ultimately, it seems like the doctor who seems to be injecting these people with this serum, the same serum that they injected with the earlier writer, who turned into that gigantic bunny. Uh,
Yes. Mm.
um, ultimately, it seems like they were trying to create a prostitution ring of furry creatures that
Oh,
were very sexual in being and could be used that way
yeah.
to people who could pay the money to do so.
Yeah, there was that scene when after they set themselves free, they found this other house where there was an orgy of people with that sort of creatures.
Well, and those creatures, those they were handcuffed to whatever they were handcuffed to, if you notice, and
Yeah.
they were chained, so they were being held against their will by doing this. So, in a sense, I think that these people were doing is anyone who were outsiders, they were turning into these sexual creatures where they could make money off of them.
Yeah, so uh, if I understood correctly, they had to handcuff the creatures so they wouldn't start killing people like this bunny did, or
Or just keep them against their will and keep them there so that they didn't run away.
oh, well, yeah, makes sense.
But was there any character in here that you enjoyed?
Well, I could say I liked the blood girl Sarah, and I also pretty much liked this virgin guy, especially the last scene with him after the credits. It was pretty funny. Yeah, he finally got what he wanted in a quite strange way.
Very true, very true. What did you think about the special effects of the film?
I'm sorry, what did I think of what I didn't
What did you
understand?
think about the special effects of the film?
Uh, well, the special effects were pretty good for an independent movie, in my opinion. Maybe not quite realistic at all times, but for a movie like this, it's fine because it's supposed to be funny, not scary. Uh, yeah,
And
uh,
my first experience with this film was, what the hell did I just get myself into? Um, because when I first heard about it, it still didn't have the limited edition. But then I heard that Raven Banner was selling these editions, so I went on Amazon, found a copy. When it came, I watched it, and I laughed so hard that I had to show my fiance, and she looked at me and was like, "What?" And then I made her watch it. She was like, "Why did you make me watch that?"
well, did she ever specify what exactly she found so bad about it?
She thought it was stupid. It was. Although found it funny. I mean, there it was. I found it funny that she found it stupid too. So it was it was comical to me all around. Because of the situation, because of the outlandish, wild idea that okay, you could be turned into this sexual creature that could go on a slasher killing rampage, and he could use his penis like a weapon. I mean, look at that, didn't he? I mean, didn't he use it like nunchucks or something like that?
I'm sorry, like what?
Didn't he use his penis like a nunchucks?
Uh, uh,
You don't know what nunchucks are?
yeah, as you know, English is not my first language, so I'm not familiar with that word. I'm
Well,
sorry.
nunchucks is a weapon for a Japanese um, uh, karate artist or a ninja, and it normally has two handles and then it has a chain in between.
Oh,
If you know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I believe it was Michelangelo. He had nunchucks as his choice of weapon.
Oh, I get it.
The things that he kept swinging around his shoulder and all that jazz.
Yeah, yeah. This body
You,
was.
you didn't know that that's what those were called.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Uh,
No, you do. But
yeah, yeah.
but
Thank you.
to me, uh, that's kind of what he was using his penis for a moment. I mean, that was hilarious.
Well, pretty much all scenes with the body using his penis were hilarious.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't expect that to happen in any sense of the word. I mean, what that bunny did, that that bunny seemed to do it all.
Yeah, in the end, it was even killed with its own penis. So,
Which is ironic. Uh,
yeah, it was when the blonde chick tore its penis off, and she stuck it in the creature's eye, and that was how she killed it. Yeah,
well,
that was
that scene would have to be my favorite scene, actually, to be
well,
honest.
no wonder. I
I
mean,
thought I thought the special effects were decent. I thought the film was over the top, but in order to experience something like this, you kind of have to go wild. You have to go nasty just a bit in order to have some fun.
Well, yeah. In my opinion, humor is humor, so it's not supposed to be taken seriously in the first place, and therefore it shouldn't have limits. It shouldn't hold itself back.
Well, and in my mind, if this film had more of a serious tone, would you have taken it in the same way?
Well, in that case, maybe I would have perceived it more of as a serious slasher movie, not a comedy. But in that case, it would have had to be done without penises and stuff like that.
It definitely puts a different spin on the Easter Bunny, doesn't it?
Oh my God! Wish me luck not to think of that for Easter.
Hey, I kid you not. If you pull this out on Easter and let your mom watch it with you, I guarantee. I'm not sure what your parents' humor is like, but shit. I hope you watch.
Well,
I hope you watch this alone.
my father watched a part of it with me, and he found it funny, but he wasn't there until the end. But yeah, he found it funny too. My mother didn't watch it; she wasn't at home.
Uh, well, I'm glad that your father found it humorous.
He did, yeah. Yeah, I remember he especially laughed at the explosion scene.
Well, that part was really funny.
It was.
Now, what did you think about the acting on All Around? Do you think that they pulled it off to what they um, I mean, it's hard to tell with people who are speaking a different language. You know, are they acting the right way?
Yeah, the foreign language makes it a bit difficult to distinguish good acting from bad acting, but I personally didn't mind. I was okay with the acting. In some scenes, well, maybe it was over the top, but like I said before, in a movie like this,
You
uh,
kind of expect it.
yeah, pretty much.
And as bad acting goes, you kind of would expect it to have bad acting along with the idea behind the film.
Uh, yeah, but the acting wasn't so bad, in my opinion, at least.
Now, would you continue to watch this film over and over?
Well, I could watch it a few more times, maybe a week or something. Why not? It's funny.
It's a good party film. It's a good party film. I
Yeah.
mean, to share with people because you always want to have a movie that can out movie another person, especially among your friends. Hey,
Indeed,
did you hear
indeed.
about this movie? I'll tell you a little bit about it, but you have to watch it with me.
Yeah. Well, if they have to watch it before, if they have to promise to watch it before hearing a single thing of what it's about, it's kind of gambling for them because they don't know what I'm about to bring up.
Or what you're about to subject them to.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, it's like, have I already ruined you guys by even having you watch the film?
Yeah, well, if someone brought up something like that, if they said they would tell me something about the movie, but I have to agree to watch it before I hear anything. Well, I would probably say yes. I'm a curious person.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is next time we are going to cover one more film because that I can we'll do Night of Something Strange, and I'll send that to you before next week. Uh,
Oh, good.
um, and that way you can download it and whatever. And we'll go from there. We'll cover Night of Something Strange because I think that's another party movie that you can share around to people.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
And then we'll get back to the Joe Sherlock stuff.
Oh, nice, nice.
Maybe we'll go
I'm
three and
looking
three.
forward to it. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said maybe we'll go three movies out that I know, and then three movies out that you know.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
So, alrighty. So, ultimately, what are your final thoughts on this film? Would you recommend this to other people?
Yes, yes, I would. Well, I do have to say, its humor is a bit over the top sometimes. So, if you don't like humor that really refuses to limit itself, in that case, it might not be to your liking. But if you like morbid comedies and political incorrectness, then yes, I absolutely recommend this one.
And what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, oh, let me think.
If you had to choose one.
Uh, yeah, well, in a way, maybe it would be the first scene when the bunny yells "pussy" because the first time he yells it, it's unexpected. So that's
when he
what.
when he transforms into what he is to become, and then
Oh,
finally yells "pussy."
Uh, oh yeah, yeah. That was one thing I wanted to mention. The opening credits. So while the opening credits are going, we have this really slow animation of the man turning into this half human, half rabbit creature, and if you watch the opening credits without knowing what to expect, the animation is so slow that it's barely perceptible. So once you finally notice that the man is turning into something else, and then you see its penis growing, so it's pretty funny and pretty well done. So yeah, that was one thing I found pretty impressive in a funny way.
The growth of his penis. Yeah. Well. Um. Yeah. I would have to say so too. I mean, uh, in werewolf movies, which this is kind of a movie on the scale of like a werewolf kind of a creature because he's transforming into this creature. So we see the transformation. I think that's kind of what happens in the end too,
Oh
where
yeah,
where the African American guy his penis begins to grow, does it not?
yes, yes, but somehow he manages to remain in his human form somehow. How?
So I have to say that I myself put this creature film on a level with some of the others. I would have to put this on one of my top 10 indie films, to be honest, um,
Indeed.
because of the level of absurdity. that this film has.
Well, maybe, but that's its main ingredient. It's what makes it what it is.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I just had to share it with you. And now that you've seen it, I'm glad that you have.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad too. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Definitely, man. I mean, uh, each film that I show with you is a little bit different. Even though, like the last one was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that one had it wasn't as raunchy as this one,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah. Well, I liked that one too. It was another horror comedy I really enjoyed.
Well, I'm glad that you've enjoyed the last two films. Hopefully, you'll enjoy this next one too. It's done on a serious note, but it does have a lot of comedy in with it, and I hope you'll enjoy it for what it is. And it has a few twists and turns in it that I don't think that you'll expect either. So,
Oh, sounds good. Well, so far, your recommendations have not disappointed, so I don't have a reason to think the next one will either. So I'm looking forward to it.
cool. Well, in any case, hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you have enjoyed our ramblings on this film. Again, this was Bunny the Killer Thing, and
Yeah.
I know that you can find the film on its own in a single disc thing, but you can also find it under a Raven Banner limited edition. I know I saw some on eBay for a relatively decent price. Right now, it's going for about $50 a pop, or maybe less. So get your copy now, while you still can. I believe that they are
Yeah.
sold out of them everywhere else, but
Oh,
you should definitely find a copy if you can.
indeed, indeed. You
So,
won't regret it, in my opinion.
in any case, thank you for coming on. I appreciate your company and going
Thank you
through and
for
watching.
having me.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I just love talking about films in general. So I'm glad to have you on with this journey. You're not the first person I've talked to about this film either. So it's uh, it's it's different person, different perspective, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So,
I did. Thank you.
in
Thank you.
any case, say good afternoon
Good
to our ladies
afternoon,
and
everyone.
and hopefully you enjoyed our ramblings, folks. So enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.